Welcome, affiliated listeners, to another Monday Minute. Excited to talk to you again. And today we are getting close to the end of the year, which means planning. This is something that hopefully you're doing in your business. If you're not, I'm going to talk to you today about some really good, important strategies, especially for small business owners when it comes to doing your end of year planning and how you could lock in to have a great 2023 or whatever future period you're looking into. So first, I think what's important to do is we need to step back and really talk about what kind of three core things you should be setting or evaluating if you need to make goals and improvements for in your business. One of the big ones, or kind of the three that I like to define, is first, taking something in your business is going well and how do you accelerate it even further. You also could be looking at something that fell short in your business and decide to say, how can we make it better, improve it? And then finally, it's looking at inefficiencies of your business. How do we get more efficient? That's cutting and trimming the fat, maximizing our profitability. So first I want to tell you is oftentimes you probably have one of all of those three things in your business. It's really tempting to say, I'm going to do all of them. In fact, sometimes that'll end up meaning that you set goals for 5 to 6 things, sometimes even more, just to start off your year. And that could feel really motivating. You're like, great, we have all these things we're going to accomplish. Let's go out and do them. If you're pushing more than 1 to 2 different goals in those categories for your business, more often than not, you're going to, especially if you have a small team, you're going to fail at most, if not all of those goals, because you're going to be trying to do them all at the exact same time. And I've seen far too often business owners, they do a lot of the same thing all at once, which means they end up doing nothing. You get spread so thin, you're fractured across so many different things. Not to mention, we oftentimes underestimate how hard it is to accomplish anything. I mean, gosh, going to the grocery store with 4 kids seems easy on paper, not really, but guess what? It's even harder than you think. And so every single time we cut ourselves short of what we actually think is going to happen, or there's headwinds, mistakes, there's things that we can't anticipate that are going to make these goals very, very challenging. So oftentimes, instead of trying to spread yourself so thin, hoping that everything's going to be perfect, only to fail at everything, limit those things down and then focus on really great goals. So my preference, it always depends on where your business is. I tend to lean kind of towards the priority that I talked about is I think if you have something that's going well in your business, strike while the fire is hot or the iron is hot. Get as much out of that as you possibly can. Continue to set goals around that growth. I would then, of course, probably look into going into any big things that fell short. If you felt like there was a big opportunity, it didn't quite make it there, or part of your business is just taking things away, fix that. That's important. And then finally, if both of those things are in line, I think that's when efficiencies could really come to play. So that order was actually significant for me. That being said, when you pick a goal, 1 or 2, make sure that they follow a SMART model. They're very specific. You know exactly what that goal is, and you can easily communicate it to every member of your team. You can communicate it to somebody that's walking across the street that doesn't know anything about you and your business. It needs to be very specific and in turn measurable so you know if you're going to be successful or if you're failing at it. So you could course correct and be talking and reviewing those goals regularly. Can't tell you how many times I see goals get set, and that's the last time they're ever mentioned again. That's not what you want to do with a goal. Make it something that's really important and be all about accomplishing it and that one thing with everyone. Failure doesn't have to be an option if you don't let it be, right? So make sure that you also are going to have action items of how you're going to accomplish that goal. It's not normally going to be just do it. If it is, you're going to have a bad goal and you're probably not going to hit it. So make sure to break that down and then make sure that it's timely. You have a timetable on when you're going to execute on all those things. I know SMART goal, if you haven't heard it before, there's lots of other different acronyms you could choose. Just make sure those elements really do exist in your goal and you have a much more likely chance of increasing your business, increasing your revenue, and being successful with those goals that you create. So now that you might be a little bit too bored, hopefully not, I want you to go set out 1 to 2 goals, sit down, write them out, let everyone in your business know, everyone in your life know what those goals are, and you'll be surprised if you minimize, create good goals, not only the impact they'll make to your business, but how likely you are to actually go off and accomplish them. Well, until then, guys, I'm excited to hear about if any of you guys want to comment, or even if you see me over the next year, be sure to mention the goals that you accomplished this year. I'd love to hear it. But until then, I'll see you next week. Have a good one.